Good day, friends. Welcome to Healthy by Association's weekly wellness check. I'm Angela Pelk, subbing for our fearless leader, Erin Wolowick, today. And we're going to be talking about sleep, walking, not sleepwalking, sleep, comma walking, self-care, and starting new routines in a new place, all on today's show. Stay tuned.
Welcome to your Healthy by Association weekly wellness check with Erin Wolowick, Angela Pelk, and Jim Thompson.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Healthy by Association's weekly wellness check. I am Angela Pelk, and I'm happy to be hosting in Erin's place today. We've got two of our longtime friends here with us today. Jim Thompson and Trice Turner are here. Just give us a quick wave, and I'll come to you in a second. It's Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S., and it is not looking like anything to celebrate outside here in Michigan today. We are having a rainy, dreary Friday and not too much warm in the next few days. But hey, we're still here with some days off ahead of us, which is a good thing. I'd like to first welcome our special guest, Trice Turner. Trice, it's great to see you. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do? And how are you connected here in HBA to health and wellness?
Okay, well, I'm happy to be here. Oh my God, it's like the camera comes in on me. I am from Chicago. I am a manager of business development for a trade association in the precast concrete industry. I came across HBA at a event, probably from ASAE. And I was like completely inspired by Erin's talk about, finding health and wellness, with all of us that work in associations. So I'm one of these people that I just can't join something. I need to be like all in. So, I joined you guys, and then I jumped in as a moderator for like fitness stuff and, just keeping people motivated in different ways. And yeah, so that's how I come across to you guys and how I'm here now.
Well, we are happy you're here. You always seem to come to us on the weekly wellness check when you're participating from somewhere different. You've been sort of all over the place lately, but you seem to have landed today. And I know you recently had a conference, so we'd love to hear a little bit about that as we go on through the show. Jim, hey, friend, welcome. How is everything over there with you today?
Everything is good. Everything is good. We mentioned we're going to be talking about walking this week. Well, I've been really trying desperately hard to like get in some good steps, and been doing like a little challenge where I'm trying to make sure I get in at least 9,000 steps a day. And so far, so good. We've done the whole week and like have managed to do that, and even had a few days around 10, 11, 12,000. So that's been good. So just trying to get out and just trying to get back active, in addition to doing some challenges, just been sleeping a little better. So I know we're talking about sleep today too. So
okay,
so just doing pretty good. I know we have our little, what's our rating thing? What we say, like probably like an 8 or so.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me your rating. This is something new we're doing just for Trice's sake, and anybody who's tuning in new. We've been sort of like, just sort of giving ourselves a rating between 1 and 10, 10 being on the like, I can't do anything better. I am rocking everything related to my health and wellness. We've been kind of where we've been, Jim, kind of like 7, 8-ish. So go ahead. Tell me where you're at. It sounds like you're pretty up there today.
Yeah, no, I feel good. I'm in that probably like 8, 8.5 range. I'm feeling really good. So
cool. Yeah. I would say for me, Trice, I'll give you another second if you need a moment to gather your rating for yourself. I'm gonna say for me, I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, I've been kind of, kind of not great the last couple of weeks, and I think I'm inching toward that 9. I don't know,
Nice,
something just sort of
nice.
clicked in my scheduling. I restarted 9-week control freak on Beachbody, and there's just something about starting a program fresh when other people, I'm a part of a challenge groups to keep accountability, and I just think it's nice when there's other people kind of doing the same thing as you, and you can kind of talk about
True.
it. And when you're not doing in-person fitness classes, this is maybe like the next best thing as far as accountability and like camaraderie. So I think I'm inching toward that 9. Feeling pretty good
Nice,
about
nice.
that. Okay, so our guest, what do you think? How are you gonna put yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 today?
So as far as today is concerned, I would think that I'm more towards a 7, leaning towards an 8 with what I have planned out for the day. Being in New Orleans, it's all about great food. That's not the best healthiest food, but I was on my feet, quite a bit, right? But my eating habits and, long days, long nights, probably had me more, on like a 5 or 6, and a lot of traveling, right? So I'm looking forward. I'm going to make a really healthy meal today, and my whole like self-care and meditation and all of that has me like up in a good place. And so I think that if I'm jumping ahead to the weeks, I'll be on a, up there with that 8 and 9, like you rock stars.
Yeah. Let's
Nice.
go. Well, so in New Orleans, this was your association's conference, right? And I
Yes.
think you may be one of our more recent guests who's actually experienced a proper conference. Would you just give us a couple of highlights? It sounds like, again, the whole purpose of Healthy by Association is to be sure that we are taking care of ourselves. And it sounds like there was some definite awareness there. But again, I think sometimes the schedule, maybe it's not always possible to do as much as you want to do. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that experience was like for you in particular now, sort of as we are in the upswing out of this pandemic also?
Okay, so we are aware that we were probably one of the first associations to put on a in-person conference nationwide in New Orleans, and it was a hybrid event. We were definitely making sure that we were adhering to CDC guidelines. So we had temperature checks. There was a mask mandate initially, and then that was raised while I was in New Orleans.
Wow.
So I tried to, and I don't know how many of you guys have been to the convention center in New Orleans, but it is probably like 3 football fields, like that length
That's huge.
of walking, right? So got a lot of steps in with walking, but it was hard on the body with being in a mask, because I stayed in my mask, period, right? Whether we were sitting in committee meetings and then walking the floor and all of that. So, but I took that as that was my form of exercise. I was able to get to the gym once. They had a Peloton bike there. So I was like, oh, let me ride this $1,500 bike and see what this cult thing is all about. And, because people are on this Peloton, agenda. So it was cool. They were great. Like your little like trainer. So I kind of get it. So that was fun to be able to do that. But, I did meditation every day because I have a little like meditation group. So we connected and to do that. And I walked, and I just gave myself grace because I'm going to want to eat there. Like, I'm not trying to be on the salad train when I am in New Orleans. So it was like, I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm going to be here and be as active with the walking as much as I can, and just taking time for myself. I didn't do as much group activities because COVID, So even though everything was off and people were flying to Bourbon Street, I was not doing that. So if I hung out, it was in small doses, like 2 of us, maybe 3 of us,
Mm-hmm.
type of thing. So it's just being aware. I'm there to do a job. I'm there to also reconnect. People were so excited. This in New Orleans, if we had to open a new convention after being, pretty much shut down for all of these months,
Mm-hmm.
opening it in New Orleans was the best experience because the people there were so excited and they were just amazing. For us, they were
That's
so happy to have
really,
us there.
it's really good to hear. I think that's encouraging to hear that, on both the attendee side and on your side, that it was overall a positive experience, it sounds like. And,
Yes.
I think that's always the big struggle with us Healthy by Associationers, is trying to figure out how to keep some of those wellness intentions that you have. I'm happy to hear that you continued with your meditation piece. I know that's really important to you. And I know that's, I would want to keep something like that really means a lot to me is part of it and not just let it go just because I think that's
exactly
what many of us often do. Well, congratulations on maybe one of the first big conferences
right.
of the new era of life, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Big congrats to you. Awesome. Well, so we've got a couple of topics to talk about. The one that I wanted to talk about was sleep, and maybe we'll just touch briefly on it. Jim, I'm thrilled to hear that you are sleeping better. I wonder if it has something to do with your walking, but I had found, where's my phone? I found this article, and I actually think this organization is from a mattress association. The Better Sleep Council. I think it's mattresses, but that's okay. This is a really great article, which I'll link in the comments, but it's May is Better Sleep Month. And I know that's something that, sort of been a recurring topic with us lately on Healthy by Association, just because it's so important. This new workout I'm doing, she keeps saying all the magic happens while you're sleeping. And there's a component of an evening stretch with this program, which I love. And it does sort of kind of set you on the path to sort of creating a new evening routine and sort of getting to bed. And she, talks about turning off electronics. So I really love this. This article is very comprehensive. I don't know if either of you got to take a very good look at it, but it is pretty long, and it talks about things that affect sleep and things that how to get better sleep. So I kind of wanted to go over the tips to get better sleep. 6 hours of deep, refreshing sleep is more beneficial than 8 hours of light interrupted sleep. Right. But some of the tips to get better sleep, and maybe Jim and Trice have some tips of their own that maybe, have been working for you. But I'm going to go with this one that says relax before sleeping. One of the things when I did this program before was I was loving this evening stretch thing. It was 10 minutes and I knew I had to get it done before I wanted to start going to sleep. So, just sort of that planning ahead and getting relaxed to start the sleep routine really, really made a big difference. And I noticed when I wasn't doing these evening stretches that, I was going to bed a little bit later than maybe I would have liked to. So without kind of that demarcation of having to hit play on that evening stretch really has, now that I'm doing it, it really does make a difference. I'm really enjoying that. Jim, I'm going to come to you. You said you're getting better sleep this week. I'd love to hear, if you have any formula that has made that magic happen for you.
I wouldn't say a magic formula as much as I kind of wonder a little bit about, the exercise piece. I mean, getting out walking a lot more, trying to make sure I'm doing it in the afternoon and evening, either after dinner or something like that. I mean, that's been really helpful. Just really focusing on, the whole idea of I like this article that talks about your kind of the environment which you're sleeping in, really making sure that very dark. I mean, I try to, and I've actually tried to make it a little bit colder than I normally would do,
Yeah.
just so like
Yeah.
it makes you want to cuddle up and sleep more. I mean, there's nothing worse than trying to sleep when you're just miserably hot.
Oh yeah.
It's like if you're already having issues sleeping anyway. But I think maybe just the exercise and just the just getting out moving, and then just the sleeping environment may be helping a little bit too. So it's always good to go to sleep when you're tired. When you're physically tired.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just listening to music at night. I've actually just been listening to some music, just kind of like trying to, because anxiety has been one of the things that has been sort of plaguing me a little bit to some degree, and like actually listening to music that actually has meditative music has not been working, because it's like it still makes your mind think a little bit. So I've actually been listening to music with words in it. It's actually like I focus on the words and I don't think about anything else. So it's like, oh, this is good. So
That is interesting. That is very interesting. I guess, yeah, your mind can wander in some of those kind of like Enya, like ambient kind of sound wall kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's great. I'm really glad you have found a couple of things that are working for you. I also think that the sleep environment is very important. I'm got to be pitch dark, no light, no sounds. I even have a plethora of earplugs next to my bed because I can't have sound either. And my kid's a lot older now, so I'm not worried about him, he's 12. He's not going to get out of bed and start falling down the stairs or anything. Knock on wood, let's hope. So, Trice, any good sleep tips from you, or, how's your sleep, or, tell us about sleep.
Oh, I don't think I really have tips. I mean, I used to really be of the bandwagon of I don't need sleep, I'll sleep when I'm dead, that type of thing. I've gotten better in sleeping, and I tend to adjust now a bit quickly to the different time zones that I'm in. So I think my body is getting adjusted, and when I need to sleep, I'm listening to it instead of forcing it to stay awake, like I'm going to miss out on something, right? So, but no, if anything, I could stand to absorb some tips,
Okay.
But I don't have any to share. Except for I know sleep is important. I know that now.
Yeah.
So
sleep is important. You all know I'm a big, just get that sleep. I want to sleep and sleep and sleep. But, for me, it's starting early because I want to get up early and, get my walk in the morning. And so for me, it's a start early. So, if the dishes aren't done, they'll be there in the morning because God knows nobody's going to do them while I'm sleeping. So, all right. Well, cool. Well, I hope that we'll link the article in the post, and hope that this is, can be helpful for anybody who's looking to get a little bit better sleep. All right. So Jim, you talked a little bit about your walking. I know, Trice, you're a big walker. I know that's something that you've been doing too. Me too. So I'm really glad you brought up walking. I had to put together sleepwalking in my intro.
I loved it.
Like sleep walking, not so much. But so you've got a new walking routine, Jim. Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah. So, I've just been, I've been trying to do it during the day at work. I mean, even if it's just, 15, 20 minutes or something. But then really, like I said, like the afternoon and evening, like when I get home from work, either as soon as I get home from work, I do like a workout challenge that I've been doing for several months now. But then also do the walking thing, or, like I said, after dinner or something like that, just something, a good hour or two. I want to make sure it's a good amount of time before I go to bed, just because you're not all keyed up. But but I had an article, and then we can share this in the chat as well. But it was just talking about the benefits of just even a 15-minute daily walk. I mean, so many people talk about how they don't have time to exercise, they don't have time to do an hour and a half workout, or they don't have time to do this and this and this, and just it was just a great article about how the benefits of just a 15-minute daily walk and how that's just helpful, especially if you're somebody who maybe you're not doing a lot right now. If you could just find a way to incorporate 15 minutes into the day, to do it. And, and again, this is not like a saunter type walk. I mean, like a good brisk walk.
Yeah.
I like the article. There's like, they actually mentioned, if you think about the song Staying Alive or I've Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas, like
I
doing it
love
to
it.
that rhythm, doing it to that rhythm. So staying alive, so it's a nice pace. But again, it's good for your cardiovascular health, good for joint pain, back pain. I mean, there's so many benefits of
Yeah.
just even, just a 15-minute walk. And again, we mentioned anxiety and depression earlier too. So that's obviously a big thing too.
For sure. I think I like what you said about, everybody's got 15 minutes. I mean, as much as we say we don't, and that all or nothing kind of mentality is really tough when you really want to make changes, but it can be an easy excuse to make too. Like, I feel like if I don't have an hour to spend in the gym or get myself to the gym and work out for a full hour, it's not going to happen. But we all have 15 minutes. And I think if you can just, even if you have to block it out in your calendar, like just get out there, shorten your lunch time and get that walk in. I love that. I think that 15 minutes can really make a difference, especially if you're sitting at your, at your laptop for 8 hours a day. Like you really would benefit from getting that movement in for 15 minutes. I'd like to come to Trice. I know you are a big proponent of walking. I think that was one of the first things that we talked about with you, was walking. You've done walking challenges with us here on HBA. So Trice, I'd love to hear your thoughts on walking and the benefits of walking, maybe what you found beneficial about walking.
Well, last year was a pretty hard year for a lot of reasons for a lot of people. And I found that walking just helped with my mental state. I mean, all of the benefits of the physical activity and cardiovascular and all of that are amazing, but it had me in a better headspace. And it's something that you can do that doesn't require any equipment. It just requires your 2 feet to walk, right? And so I just think it was life saving, and it's just I think, knock on wood, I didn't get sick, like a cold or flu or God forbid COVID or anything along those lines. And I think it was because I would get out and walk 3 miles every day. Right. And so, and then when I would go to England, I would get up and go out and walk. I would have a jump on the day because I'm 6 hours ahead. So I can get out and get that done and then come back into, my day. So there's just wins. We go down this rabbit hole with TikTok and all of the other things. So there's no way that people can say, well, I don't have time, when they can spend half the day on Netflix and on
TikTok.
Right.
Right. So you're getting a workout while you're scrolling through videos. Right. So
For sure. Well, thank you for that. I agree 100% with the mental wellness of even just that change of scenery that a walk can provide. I know you wanted to talk a little bit about a few different things. You, in your notes, you'd mentioned self-care and starting new routines in a new place. Thankfully you still have walking, which you can do anywhere, but what sort of new routines and self-care are you thinking about adding to your new life in your new place?
So which place? So I think I was, when Aaron and I were talking about this in the beginning, it was more so how do you start a routine? And this is across the pond in another country. And so in England, weights were very expensive. They probably became a hot commodity everywhere because
Yeah.
of COVID. People couldn't go to gyms, so they were at home, right? And so dumbbells were just like ridiculous. But the other issue that I ran into is they don't use pounds. It's a metric system. So they go by
Haha.
kilograms. So now I need to find a conversion for the weight
Oh, yeah. Yep.
that I want, right? So that became a journey. And I was able to find some so that I could lift weights, right? And
Yeah.
then I'm not used to being in a household where there are small people. So now there are children and you're trying to like work out and it's a small house and, you know, trying to figure that out and trying to meditate and they're running in from school. So it was challenging, but
Yeah.
I was able to make it work and carve it out, right? Because it's important. So it's kind of like, how do I do this? But what on the plus side, it's great to have a partner that supports, because I didn't have that before. I had someone that was kind of trying to be detrimental to the wellness journey, right? And not be supportive.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't want to give up. I just saw it as a challenge, and how could I lean into this challenge and make it work, right? And so, so I was able to do that. Now I have not done this yet, but it's on its way. It's coming. I have friends that have Oculus Quest, which is VR.
Oh, yeah.
And they work out to this, and it's like this cardio workout that is amazing. And I could take this everywhere and do it in my hotel room. And so they have sold me on the Kool-Aid. So it's coming, and you know, I'll be able to talk about that once I actually use it. But you know, because sometimes running on a treadmill or running period, or you know, these things can be a bit boring, you know, but this is a way to get some cardio in and build up a sweat, you know, outside of my other stuff, because I still love palm squats and these other, you know, routines. And now that it's warmer, I can get back into that. So it's just, I feel like it is about, and I think I've said this before, is finding something that you enjoy that's fun, so you don't feel like it's a chore to work out. We know the importance, we know what it does to our body, but you just don't want to do it. You know, it's like eating asparagus or whatever. Like I want, I know it's good, but I really want French fries.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Really want French fries.
right. So, you know,
Naturally.
so it's finding a way to encompass these things, and so that we are happy, whole, healthy people.
Yeah. I love what you said about, you know, you really do have to find something that you enjoy. I mean, treadmill's going to do the trick, but man, if it's a chore every time you go to the basement or you have to flip that treadmill on, who even, you know, it's just, nobody wants that. You don't want to dread it. And if you're going to make it a part of your life, it needs to be something that is enjoyable.
Exactly.
And I'm glad I found something like that, you know, too. I do enjoy walking. I walk with a friend, you know, we never run out of anything to say. We walk, you know, sometimes 4 or 5 days a week. And, you know, I only started getting back to that in October. And I wish I would have started, you know, in March when we were all locked down, because what else am I doing all day? But, you know, it was just wasn't it. Well, I just want to thank you both so much for coming on today's weekly wellness check with HBA. It's always such a great conversation to just hear what's going on with people and what's working for them. We are looking for guest speakers, you know, to come on the show. It is literally just a quick commitment with a topic, and, you know, tell us what you're doing or a cool article that you found. Just get in touch with us in the Facebook group. And we hope that you will power your week with wellness and intention and health. And we hope that you all have a wonderful, safe holiday weekend. Thank you for joining us today.